Now, once you have the file open, we're going to toggle to level 1 to start placing the interior walls. So we open up, put our mouse over level 1 and double click, and we open up the level 1 view. And at this point in time, in our model, we only have the exterior wall and the current system created for this building model. Now we're going to start creating an interior partition and start subdividing the space into the corridor portion of the building and other spaces. So we're just going to right mouse in this view, zoom to fit. Maybe zoom in just a little bit so we can see the whole building. And then we're going to go click on under the architectural tab and select wall. And then it cascades down, we're going to select wall architectural. And in the property, so we're going to click on the property tab here. And then we're going to choose a wall style, which is the P6 184mm 1 hour ULCW 453. That's the wall style we're going to use to create the corridor and the other spaces. So once we set that up, we select the style. Now we need to go into the property here because we are drawing the wall up to the underside of the floor slab on level 2. And our floor slab is 250mm thick. So if we want our partition to sit just below sit at the underside of the floor slab for level 2, we're going to have to enter -250 in the top offset. And also make sure the option in the option bar that is the height is a setting, and then it's going to go up to level 2. And then the location line for placing the wall is the exterior, finished face exterior. And we're going to click on the chain command, and we want the offset to be 8.6 meters. So we're going to type in 8600 in the offset value here. Then we're going to click on the outside corner of this exterior wall and drag it across. And you can see that our wall is being created below the point I pick. Then I'm going to zoom in here and try to snap to the outside corner here. And I'm going to try to drag it down. It seems like now my point has been shifted. So if I just drag it down to this point, looks like it's snapping to the midpoint of the wall. So I won't have the correct offset because of this. But I can always adjust this once I finish placing the walls. So I'm just going to go in here and finish placing the wall. And I'm going to double check to see if my distance is correct. Now, one of the good thing about having the chain option on is that you see the corner is clean up between the wall I drew. Now, if I click on this wall here and check the distance, looking at the temporary height dimension, I want the wall to be 860 from the outside face of the exterior wall to the outside face of the interior wall. So now this is a little bit out, so I can just click on this temporary dimension here, change it back to 8600. So now that's adjusted. And I'm going to go back to check this wall here. Click on the grip on the temporary dimension, it will snap to the different face of the exterior wall. Click on this grip here, and then change the value back to 8600. Now the wall is in the location I want. I can just click on these. Let's just toggle to the isometric view and zoom in here. I'm going to go to close this view, and I'm going to go to the view tab, and I'm going to tile these two views. And in here I'm just going to set it to be wireframe mode. Now you can see that I have the wall in level 1. I can see my wall in level 1. If I put my mouse over the wall on level 1, but don't click, and then hit the tab key, then you see the chain of wall is selected. Then I click. Now I have the wall selected. You can see that in the option tab, wall, there's 3 items here. So I select the free wall. And I can go up to the copy to clipboard command here, click on it. Now the free wall is copied to the clipboard. And then again, just like what we did with the column, we can paste these walls to the upper levels. We're going to click on the paste drop down, align to selected levels. And I'm going to select level 2 and hold down my shift key and select level 3 and then select OK. You can see that this is placed or paste into level 2 and level 3. So if I go up to zoom out here and then turn the view back to consistent color, now you can see that the wall at the top level is showing through the roof slab. So I'm going to fix that. I'm going to turn it back to wireframe mode. Then I'm going to put my mouse over the wall on the level 3 and then hit tab key. Select all the wall on level 3. Then I click and I'm going to go up to here, select the context sensitive command, attach top base. Click on this, and I'm going to zoom in to click on the roof slab. So now all the wall on level 3 that I just paste into will fit nicely to the underside of the roof slab. So if I turn the view back to consistent color again, you won't see the wall showing through the roof slab. Now at this stage of the project, we're just going to lay out some room and see if we can work out the program requirement of the project. So really don't have to be overly precise at this point. We're just trying to lay out some of the room, and then we're going to adjust the wall position and see if we can match up the area that is from the program requirement. So we're just going to go back to the architecture tab and then select wall. From the wall drop down, wall architectural, and then we're going to select a different wall style at this point in time. We're just going to use 184mm non-radial partition, so it's a P4. So we're just going to place the wall here. Let's just say we're going to make this wall about 1.5 meter from grid line number 3. So we're going to pick on the option field here, enter 1500 as the offset amount, and just going to pick a point here and drag it down. You can see a wall is being created. Again, we want to make sure that it's going to be based on height and constrained to level 2, and then just drag it down to here, and you can see the wall line will automatically clean up. If I just hit escape now to cancel the wall command, you can see that the wall line are cleaned up automatically. And then we're going to create another wall on the left side of grid line number 4. I can just copy this, highlight the wall, click on it, and then copy, and just place it over here for now. And then I can actually afterward drag the grid, the temporary dimension, drag it over to the grid line number 4. So zoom in a little bit, drag the grid to grid line number 4. Doesn't seem to allow me, so just click on here. Here we go. Is it doing it? Yeah, it's doing it. It's snapping to here. So sometimes you have to try a couple of times before you can get the temporary dimension to connect to a reference element that you want. Now I want this to be roughly about 700 millimeter. Okay, that's done. Now I want the other wall. I'm going to place another wall. I'm just going to click on this wall and then right mouse and then select create similar. And I'm going to set the offset distance to be 1200. I'm going to drag down from grid line number 5, intersection point here. And the wall is creating on the wrong side, so I'm going to use my space bar to toggle it back onto this side and drag it down. That's fine. And now I'm going to create one more wall, which is roughly about 2500, because I'm going to create a stairwell at this end. So I'm going to use a different wall style. I'm going to go to this type selector here. I want to use a concrete block wall. Which has a 2-hour rating. Probably 190 should be sufficient. So I'm going to click in here. I'm going to change the offset distance to be 2500. I'm going to pick on the inside corner here, drag it down, use the space bar, toggle the wall back on the left side, and just bring it down here. And I finished my first part of placing the wall. Now I'm going to continue working in this area to create rooms in here. So I'm just going to hit modify twice and then click on one of these walls and then right mouse, create similar. Just going to drag it across here to create the wall right across, and then go beyond this room a little bit about this point and just drag it down. And then I'm going to hit escape, and I'm going to continue roughly about here at this point and just drag it across. Hit escape again and then keep going like this and drag this wall down this way, hit escape, and then pick a point midway through here and then just drag it across. Hit escape again. Now I have a series of rooms that I can work from. Now once we finish the partition in this north wing here, we're going to continue creating walls to define the rooms that we need in our programs for this school. So I'm just going to click on this wall. I'm just going to drag the wall end to come down to here. And I'm going to create another wall. We're going to use the exterior wall type. We're going to click in here and then right mouse, select similar, create similar. And then in the property tab, we don't want the wall to go that high, so we're going to constrain it to level 2, and we want to top offset to be -250 because that's the thickness of the floor slab for level 2. And we're just going to come back in here, exterior wall, architectural wall, and then we're just going to draw a wall from here. Drag it down. The other thing you need to do is to, when you draw a wall, make sure you know the location line. So it's just going to be finished face exterior. Pick at this point, just on the bottom, on this side of the column, drag it out. Now we're going to click on this, either some metal stud, and we want to be constrained by level 2. And then it's going to be top offset -250 millimeter. And then we're going to break this wall. We're going to break the segment here. And then we want this wall to be the same style as the exterior wall. So we click on the type selector, and we're going to go look for exterior ephes on metal stud. Now I'm going to trim the opening, create opening in here for the entrance to the building. So go to the architectural tab and select wall opening. And I'm just going to pick a point here on this wall. Pick the first point roughly around here and drag it down and go to here. Now I create an opening. Now I want an opening to match up with this wall edge here, so I go to the Modify tab, select Align command, and pick on this edge on the face of the wall, and then pick on this opening. Oops. I have to drag it down a little bit further and then try to use the Align command again. Now it's lined up and we lock it down. Same thing for this side. We're going to use the Align command. And lock it down. Now let's take a look at how high the opening is. So if we put our mouse over the opening, you can see the blue outline highlighted. So if we click now, we selected the opening object. So is from level 1, top constraint, to level 2. We want the base offset and top offset to be minus 600. So it'll be 2 feet lower than the bottom of the slab. And we just keep going and create interior wall for this part of the building. So we're going to click on one of these walls, right mouse, and select Create Similar. Roughly around here, we can drag these wall down. We're going to click on this, and then copy. We're going to copy again. This time we're going to click on multiple, so we can copy a number of times without going back to select original elements. So we're going to place a room here, place a wall here, and then one more here. Now to continue the partition on ground floor, I'm just going to click on this wall and extend it down. And now I'm going to break the wall at this point here. So pick the point. So this wall is broken, so I'm going to copy or just offset this by another 2.5 meters for the stairwell. And I'm going to copy this wall, so click on this and then copy, and we probably want to toggle on multiple. So I'm going to put one over here, and another one over here. And I'm just going to create a number of classrooms in this area here on the south wing. So one more. And the last one. So make sure that we have enough room for a stairwell in here. I'm going to click on this wall, toggle to the temporary dimension to fit on the inside of the wall line. And I'm going to change the value to be 2500 millimeters. Now that we have the basic wall layout, we're going to start adding the doors and windows into the floor plan.